Hello and welcome back. In the previous video, we already discussed about objectives of our project. Now, in this video, we are going to implement this particular project. So, let's start this. Now, before I am going to start this particular project, I want you to take care about this particular branching problem that we have. When we install Git into our local system, we just use default option. And as a part of this default option, the default branch name is always master. Now we know that we are going to use GitLab. When we are creating a GitLab repo, they have main as a default branch. Now this master and main can be problematic for us during our project. So from now onwards, what we are doing, we are going to change this master branch to main branch in our local Git software as well. So let's do this. First of all, I am going to open Git bash. Now how I can verify that I have master branch or main? Okay, so you can give the command git config -- list, and see here you can find out this. See, so right now I have master branch. If you have main branch, then you do not need to give this command, then it is completely okay. But I want that your default branch must be main. Okay, now I have master, so I am going to execute this command. Let me verify and look at this. Now onwards, whenever I am going to create any Git repo, it is going to create main branch as a default branch. Okay, create local Git repo. This is the next step. So let me go to my one favorite folder. Okay, here I am going to create another folder. Okay, let me give name mkdir level-0. Going inside level-0. Okay, I am going to give command git init. So now we have one Git repo in my local system. Then we have to create index file using the code without error. If you remember in the first video, okay, we have this particular code and this code don't have any error. So now we are going to add this code into our Git repo, and for this we are going to create one file index.html. So what I am doing, I am going to open the notepad. Okay, here I am going to copy this code, Control C and Control V. Now I want to store this file as an index.html into this particular path. So I am going to give command pwd, and this is a part of my Git repo. So I am going to file menu, save. Okay, let me go to the step by step. C drive, users, admin, git test, and we have level-0, and here I am giving name index.html. Okay, index.html. I am going to click on save. Please do not close this, just save this file. Okay, done. Let's verify ls, and here we have this particular file. So now created index file using code without error, it is done. Now we are going for the step number 3. So here we are going to create GitLab project. We have to create this GitLab project into the GitLab account. So I have my GitLab account is also open. I am going to click on create project, create blank project. Here I am giving name as well, same level-0, you can give any name, and let me click on create project. Done, and I have this repo ready. Add GitLab repo as a origin So now I want to push my code from my local Git to the GitLab repo that we have created. In order to do this, we have to add Git repo over here. So these are the commands that we are going to use. I am just going to add this as a first stage. So I am going to copy and paste this. Okay. Done. I am not going to push any code right now. I just added the GitLab repo as a remote repo over here. Okay. So this is done. Now main part of the project, I want you to understand this very carefully and listen to me. What I am saying is the most important part of this particular project. Now it is a final part and we are going to create our .gitlab-ci.yml file. Here I have this file that we are going to use. Now you need to understand the structure of this particular file and you need to understand how we are going to execute this project. Okay. First of all, before I am going to explain you all this, okay, I want you to understand the basic concept. During the first part of this video, I explain you about validator.w3.org, which is used to validate the code. But if you want to use this tool, you have to copy and paste your code manually because this is an online tool. It is an official tool for the HTML validation. And this is like a manual. Now we want to use same tool for the automation of our validation. But we cannot use this tool directly. Okay. So here we are going to use another tool known as HTML Validator CLI. Okay, this is a tool we have, which now the advantage of this tool is we can install this tool inside the Linux machine. Okay, so instead of using validator.w3.org, we are using compatible tool that we can install in the Linux system, right? Now you may have another question about this, that okay, I understood this, but in which computer we are going to install this tool, right? So we can install this tool inside the runner. I hope you have complete idea about the runner. Right now, we are not using our own runner. We are using shared runner provided by GitLab. So we are going to install this tool inside the runner. Okay. Now, problem with this tool is we have to install Node.js application as well. So if you want to install HTML-validator.cli, you have to install Node.js one kind of language, and then you can use this. Okay, so it cannot work without Node.js. So to solve this particular problem, okay, here we are actually using Node.js container image. So what will happen? Node.js container image will be executed inside the runner, and inside this image or inside this container, it is going to install HTML Validator CLI. When you are going to use this image, it is very convenient for runner to run this image and create a container from this image. Now you may have this question that how you find out this. Okay, so it is very easy. Even if you don't know anything about Docker, you don't need to worry because we will talk about Docker in upcoming days. Here you just need to find out image. Now how you can find out? See, there is one website of Docker itself. You can go to the hub.docker.com and you just need to type Node.js. Okay, and this is the first latest image Docker image in which we have Node.js ready to install, and then we can install directly our HTML validator. So we do not need to run series of command to install Node.js or anything, right? We just need to run one kind of mini virtual machine, or we can say that lightweight virtual machine in which we have Node.js already installed, and we are installing our HTML validator CLI inside this directly. Yeah, you can find out images for any of your requirement. Here it is about the Node.js. So instead of installing Node.js in our system, we are directly using Node.js container image, Docker image, and that's why we have specification over here that use Node.js image. Now if you look at this, okay, if you look at this, the image name is Node, okay, but here I am using Node:\latest. Why? Because if you read all this document carefully, you will find out that you can type Node: and then the version. Now if you don't need to worry about like which version you have, a latest one or anything, if you are going to type this Node:\latest, it is going to download latest Node.js image, and from this it is going to create container, and now we have ready to use virtual machine which is actually running inside the runner. Okay, this virtual machine is actually very lightweight virtual machine, we call it container. So container can run inside the runner, even we are using shared runner, and inside this we are actually installing this HTML validator.cli, okay, and which is used to validate this. So now you will get the complete idea. Let's understand this step by step. So specifies the Docker image to be used for runner that execute your pipeline. So our runner, I don't know which runner we are going to use because we are using shared runner. So GitLab will automatically assign runner, and runner will execute this Node.js container. In this case, Node:\latest is a Docker image used, right? Then we have stages. So define the stages of your pipeline, and each stage can contain multiple jobs, okay, and stages are executed in order in what they are defined. So we already discussed about this, and here we have this particular test. Now inside the test we are going to run specific job known as test job. So in the name of the job within a pipeline, right? So test job is a pipeline. Then here we are going to define that this job is a part of our stage test process. So associate this job with the previously defined test stage, and this means test job will be executed as a part of the test stage during the CICD process, okay. Then we have final script, which command we are going to install. So in the first part we are actually installing an HTML validator.cli, okay, install HTML CLI, and then validate our HTML file, and we have only index.html file, so we are going to validate this particular file, okay. And the final, it is a main, it means if we are going to change anything into the main branch, then you need to run this particular pipeline. So this is like the simple way to create any pipeline using this .gitlab-ci.yaml file. Now I am going to copy this, okay, going to open Notepad and pasting this over here. Now I have to save this file, so going to the file menu, save, okay, going to the same git test level-0. Now here I have to give name dot, keep this in mind that the file name always, this particular file name is always start with the dot, okay. So that's why I am going to type this dot gitlab-ci.yml. Let me click on save. Now if I am going to save this particular file, it will, like this file is hidden, so if I am giving command ls, I will see only index.html, and now I am going to say ls-l, ls-a means all files, so I am going to get this gitlab-ci.yaml. So my both index.html and GitLab CI.yml, both files are ready. So we have to add them into the staging area. Okay. And then we are going to push this code. So let's do this.
Hello everyone, sorry to disturb you. I am sure you guys are enjoying our GitLab course. If you want full access of this course having 83 videos, you can enroll it from our portal. First 100 students will get special discount. There is some limitation on YouTube, we are unable to give you support, but once you become our community member, our instant support is included, lifetime updation, completion certification, and additionally, weekly lifetime live session with our expert Bhavesh Atal. We want to improve your skills anyhow, so that's why we added 5 projects as well. We are also available on Udemy. Still, you have any doubts, any queries, you can contact me on my personal number. Thank you.